Hello again, friends and loyal Wolfpack members. Chaos Wolf here, and welcome back to Into the Black, the series where we're just going out exploring whilst talking about random crap. So, where are we at the moment? Let's go and have a look. Because I don't think I'm that far away from my starting location. I keep forgetting that the bookmarks don't actually carry over with all the multiple accounts. So let's see, how far are we out? Oh, a little further out than I expected. We're about 1,000 light... Oh, really? Only about 1,000 light years out? Alright. Okay. Well, we're currently working our way towards our... I'm assuming it's our second waypoint? So, yeah. But we found like an interesting looking little system. Now, it doesn't seem all that particularly fantastic, but it is completely undiscovered, and it's something I wasn't really expecting to find. Now, I know that this game has over 400 billion star systems, and less than 1% of them have currently been discovered by the player base, and if we keep going as we are, it's going to take us over 100 years to actually go and discover all of them. So, yeah. It's more than likely I'm going to be coming across more than a few undiscovered systems. It's just, I got a bit surprised because I'm on a very well-trodden path. But anyway, why is this a bit interesting? It's because, well, first of all, it's undiscovered, but these two planets here look like they may potentially be fairly interesting. We're basically orbiting around, what is this one again? A G-class star, which is the same, I believe, as our current, our Earth. Oops, wrong button. Now I think this is the one I want to go and have a look at, and I'm going the wrong way, aren't I? So let's head off in the right direction. Slow down a tad. It's about there, just below the blue, because then we should be able to scan it without overshooting or anything when we're in the map. Just to make sure that I am actually going to the right one. Yes, I am. Because the next one we want to go to is this one. Because these two have atmospheres, as does potentially this one. But these two are the more interesting looking ones because they have a thick atmosphere. This one may just have a very, very thin atmosphere. So, and it looks like it's probably too close to the star anyway in order to go and be potentially habitable. Because, if I remember correctly, we are currently 8 light minutes away from our governing star, the sun. So, 8 light minutes. What is that? You know what? I'm going to have to go get my calculator out, because I don't really know. So, let me just... Apologies if you can see the cursor there. So, 60 seconds times 8. My maths is appalling at the moment. So, 480 light seconds. So, that is not too far away. It's a little close, and that one's about twice as far away. This one's the closest to the Goldilocks zone then, potentially, but then again that's assuming that this star is one solar mass. Solar mass this is a little small actually. It's a little bit smaller than our current star. So, oh, there we go, we've actually got it scanned. It's just a high metal content world. It is a candidate for terraforming, so that was quite nice. I suspect that's the next one we want. Let's go and double check. You know, I completely forgot to check. And yes, that is the one we want to go and check. So that one is terraformable. So that's nice. We've got our name on a terraformable high metal content world. So let's have a look. Surface temperature is 888 Kelvin. Not quite sure what that works out as. I'm curious now. What is 888 Kelvin in relation to degrees C? Well, that's interesting. Apparently, 888 Kelvin actually works out as 614 degrees Celsius. So, that's very, very hot. But I'm assuming that's mainly because of a lack of an atmosphere to help kind of shield the surface. So I'm assuming if it gets terraformed, that will help bring the surface temperature down. Now, I might be wrong. I might not. But let's get up, let's have a look at this one. Now, I'm not expecting this one to be terraformable, But I am curious, and even if it isn't terraformable, it is just high metal content world. And the weird thing is with high metal content worlds is that they... Oh, there we go. It's a bit bigger than I was expecting. So that's more than one Earth mass, I reckon. So we'll have to go and check that out once it's scanned. But like I said, I think it's more than one Earth mass because we scanned that from a fair distance away. It was over 100 light seconds away. Now, if I remember rightly, one Earth mass is about 80 light seconds. I could be wrong. But it is a high metal content, as I fully expected. Now, let's go and see. No, I don't... No, it isn't. Earth masses, yeah, 3.6 Earth masses. So, yeah, that's a bit too big. Now, I suspect if it was terraformable, that wouldn't be too bad, because I'm pretty sure that humanity could actually survive up to about 4-5G, potentially, for an extended period of time. I might be wrong. Alright, just looked it up as well, because you know what, just doing this series just makes me so curious about certain things, and this game as well. But I've just looked it up, and according to Google, the typical human body can actually withstand up to 5Gs. So, that's before basically the body cannot pump blood into your brain. So, that's interesting. So, apparently, we as humans could actually live on fairly large planets if we need to. So, we don't need to rely on planets that are around 1G. I mean, personally, I would prefer to live on a planet which is like 2 to 3Gs maybe, if I ever had the option. Just because you just have to be so much fitter in order to do it. And just everyday daily life would be a massive workout. I mean, yes, it would damage your body slowly over time, potentially, depending on how high the G is, and it really depends on what you're doing there. But I assume, as a species, we would pretty much just adapt, I suppose. It's just it'd bring in a whole new avenue of human evolution, I suspect. Yeah, I know what you're thinking. Look at him talking as if he knows what he's talking about. Yeah, well, the thing is, these kind of things really do fascinate me. I've always been interested in this kind of thing. It's probably why I was drawn to Elite in the first place. Just because of the... Well, I hesitate to use the term scientific accuracy, but... Because this is a game, really, and we're flying around in space and so on. We can't exactly do that these days. But David Braben has got a propensity and a desire to put a lot of science facts into his game about science fiction. So these kind of things really just fascinate me. It just kind of just drives me to learn more about... I think it falls under the purview of astrophysics, perhaps? Not sure. And ever since playing this game and stuff, I've gotten a lot more interested. Like, I've been watching, I've watched the whole series of Cosmos with Neil deGrasse Tyson. That's an awesome series. And if you haven't watched it and you are watching this video, I would recommend going check it out. It is available on Netflix, at least in the EU. At least in Europe. So, I'm not... Ooh, water world. And a potential ammonia world. Nah, that's a high metal content, isn't it? Because we've got a bunch of high metal content in the water world. So, that's 12 light seconds away. Is this an M-class star? I believe it is. Yeah, it's an M-class star. So that's going to be... I don't know. Not sure if this is going to be hotter or colder, potentially. I don't really know. But what we're going to go and do is we're going to go and scan the planet from here to here. Because I reckon one of these may be an ammonia world, but look like they're actually... high metal contents. Well, that's definitely a water world. They've been discovered before. But that's fine. Has the main star been discovered? Yes, it has. So, like I said, these are the things that I'm expecting to find more often. But this particular planet, I don't think I even need to move anywhere in order to actually start scanning it. No, I don't. Because it's that close to its parent star. Now, I'm pretty certain that this thing is not going to be terraformable. So, that's fine. Because it's going to be way too close. Like I said, it's way too close to its parent star in order to be terraformable. But I could be surprised. Yeah, no, I'm not. Alright. So, next one. This is a conjoined planet. It's not the correct term. I believe they may be tidally locked planets. I'm not quite sure. But we may be able to scan them from roughly... Oh yeah, we can. So I can fuel scoop and scan at the same time. So I might as well do that. Now the fuel scooping's got... There we go. But we might as well move up a little bit until we can at least target the second planet, that is twin. So we've got the first one. You know what? I might as well just look over here. It'll be easier. There we go. So now we can go and check out the system map. Go and see what we have. Because here... Yeah, not terraformable. But it is volcanism. Oh, it's no volcanism, it says. What? Areas are... Oh, I've passed volcanism. Right, okay. And what's this one then? No volcanism, not... What's it? This one may be terraformable, though I seriously doubt it. It's only about 1/10 of the distance away from this star that our Earth is away from our Sun. So I really think this is too close to be in the Goldilocks zone. But it is a water world, so it may hold something a little bit surprising. Let's find out. So yeah, water world. At the very least, we've got a water world scanned. Right, seriously, oh, it is terraformable. Holy crud! That I was not expecting. It's a little over an Earth mass. So wait, so it's over an Earth mass. Why is it only 0.8 of a G? What am I missing here? Perhaps the planet itself is just not dense enough, because I think what gives our Earth its higher gravities as our molten iron core. That might be it. I mean, I'm not exactly an expert. I just kind of dabble in this kind of thing. Because I know that's what gives us our strong magnetic field. Whoa, hello. Wasn't expecting that. But that's going to be a fairly large planet, in fact. Now, that one potentially may be terraformable as well, because it is further away than the one we just scanned. So I'm holding my breath. Well, I'm crossing my fingers as well. So let's just wait for that to finish scanning and go and see whether or not this is actually going to be a good little addition to our scan data. So let's see. There we go. High metal content. That was never in question. What is in question is, no, it's not terraformable. But it does have iron magma volcanism. So that's interesting. There's a bunch of other planets in system, but they're not really that interesting. But we've got a terraformable water world, so that's going to be an interesting little addition. So that's going to get us a good amount of scan data price. So that's going to get us a little bit closer to getting our next ship. So, what is the next ship we're going to have? Well, I'm planning to go for a Diamondback Explorer and go and modify it out, so we can go and get a much better jump range. And then potentially, what I'm thinking of doing is going over to Jack's Station after we go and do that. But we're going to have a bit of time where we're staying in the bubble, specifically. So we're going to need to get the materials that we need in order to go and... There we go. That we need in order to go and modify up the ship to get a better jump range and so on. So it's going to be interesting doing that. But as of right now, we're just... As I said previously, we're heading over to the Lagoon Nebula. That's our first stop. Then after that, we're moving over to either the Trifid or the Omega Nebula, whichever one's closest. I can't really remember. But yeah, nothing really of much interest in this system. Let's go and see how far away that star is. 100,000 light seconds? You know what? It's not been scanned. I might as well just go and get it scanned, get my name on it. Now, we've got a name on one star so far that I've noticed, but because this is a very well-trodden path, I don't expect to find too many things that are not scanned. Although, like I said, 400 billion star systems, less than 1% actually been discovered. We stand a more than adequate chance of actually finding things that are unmarked and unexplored. So, whilst we're travelling, we can have a quick look at our little path. As you can see, we've got another 1,000, well, less than 1,000 light years to our next waypoint. About 800 light years. Then we've got to move over to this waypoint over here. Then after that, we're moving up this way, and that's one waypoint away from the Lagoon Nebula itself. Although we do drop down a fair way for some reason. And then from there, we're moving over to the Lagoon Nebula itself. So it's been a while since I was last here. In fact, I think the last time I was here was when I actually went and met Obsidian Ant for the first time. So that was kind of interesting. He was actually streaming his exploration series, and I just happened to be around here at the same time he got here. So that was kind of interesting. I mean, as you can see here, we're not that far away. Oh, we are quite a ways away from Colonia. So we're not going to go and head there just yet. But what we are going to go and do is... because I can't see him at the moment. Wait a sec, is this one of them? Oh, that's the Cat's Paw Nebula. That is NGC. Yeah, that is NGC. Where is it? There's the Omega Nebula. So it's most likely going to be the Omega Nebula next. And then after that, the Trifid. Oh, wait a sec, no, it's the Trifid first. So it's going to go from the Lagoon to the Trifid, and then over to the Omega. And then we may even go over to the Eagle Nebula, because that's not too far away. I would say we could go here, but that's quite a distance out. What I'm thinking is after we've gone and gotten ourselves our next ship with a slightly better jump range, we may actually come over here and go and check out a bunch of these nebulae, because that's going to be cool. A bunch of nebula that I've not been in yet. So anyway, how far close are we to this? We're still a good ways away. So I'll see you guys when I actually get a bit closer. And there we go. Finally, I was not expecting to have to get so close to this star in order to start scanning. So we had to get sub 2,000 light seconds away. So this is a fairly small star. But, oh well, it'll be a first discovery, it'll be an extra 50% boost to the scan data for it. So that's going to be nice. And there we go, it's a brown dwarf. At the very least, we've got our name on one of those. Yay, just what I've always wanted. But yeah, so what exactly am I planning to do once we get back with all this scan data? I'm hoping to have at least 13 million credits worth of scan data. I'm hoping to get around about that. Because then the plan is to go to Felicity Farseer and actually go and hand in sell scan data to her. So that's what we're going to go and do. Now the question is, I can't remember what we have to do in order to go and... There we go. Let's actually go and scan the system and scan the star at the same time. Now, it's been a while since I've gone and done anything with Felicity Farseer, and in order to do this, that's all it is. We have to go and provide a 1 unit of meta-alloys, so that's not too bad. And this is an M-class star. Nothing else too interesting in system. But you may have noticed that I only seem to be jumping to scoopable stars. Now, that is a kind of awesome new feature of 2.2, because all of my accounts now seem to be benefiting from 2.2. In my main account, I've now got my Anaconda with ship launch fighters. Ducky is now going out and doing passenger missions. And out exploring with Commander Mal Reynolds, we've got the ability to filter our route so that we're ignoring all the systems that we can't scan from. I mean, I've also got the carbon stars and the Wolf-Rayet stars off. I've got white dwarfs on and non-sequencing stars. Now, non-sequencing stars, these are neutron stars, and they are, let's see the one again, black holes. That's it. Just because these ones are worth a good amount of money. So if we do turn up around them, that's perfectly fine for me. But the vast majority of all of our stop points, as you can see, are all scoopable. I mean, what's this one? That one's an F, so that's an F-class white star. And every single jump we've got along here is scoopable, so that's kind of cool, because that allows us to not worry too much about potentially running out of fuel. So all the way to there, almost every star that we're jumping into is going to be scoopable. So where are we? There we go. That's our next port of call. I mean, how far away are these other 2 stars? Actually, why am I going over there? Oh, not too far away, actually. Let's go and scan this one at least. Where is it?
Fuel scoop disengaged.
There it is. It's 400 light seconds away, and you can barely see it. Makes me miss the supermassive stars, the giants, like the red giants and the orange giants and so on. I think they're called orange giants. I don't remember. But oh well. I know they got red giants. We've got giant stars and wolf riots and stuff. Those are kind of cool systems. And I really want to find a system where we have a landable planet that's really close to the parent star, because that's going to make for some really nice visuals. But yeah, whether we get it, we get it. If we don't, we don't. The only downside is because we're in a hauler, we don't actually have an SRV. So we can't go and drive around. We can't look for any jumponium. So we don't have any way of increasing our jump range outside of neutron stars and white dwarves. Because that's another thing that's been introduced in 2.2. Is white dwarfs and neutron stars now have their neutron cones coming out of the stars themselves, the ejection cones. And if we actually go and sit in them for a little bit, it'll actually supercharge our jump drive, which is kind of awesome. Now, have we got anything interesting here? A couple of things, in fact. Now, these have been discovered previously. Right, so this is what class star? K-class. So these 2 may be terraformable, but I'd have my money more on this particular one, actually. Because that's about the distance of Earth away from the Sun. And I can't remember. I think our Sun is a G-class star, though. So it could be a bit different, but I'd put more money on this one. But we'll go and scan these ones, see what we can find. We might be able to find something more interesting. Then again, we might not. Only time will tell. Or, well, not time. Well, yeah, time, but getting closer and actually scanning them will tell as well. So, why am I planning to go to Felicity Farseer over Elvira Martuk? Well, with Elvira Martuk, I think going with her is better if you want to have a ship dedicated for inside the bubble and combat. Because through Elvira Martuk, you can eventually get to Professor Palin, so you can get your grade 5 thruster modifications. But if you're just looking for a dedicated exploration ship, I think Felicity Farseer is the better choice. Because Felicity goes and does a good amount more modifications, specifically. Right, I think we need to get a look. There we go. So let's go and slow that down. Because with Elvira Martuk, she goes and does grade 5 frameshift drives, the same as Felicity. They both do the same there. But Elvira also shields basically grade 2 thrusters and shield cell banks, so she seems more like a little bit more geared towards combat ships. Now, Felicity, she does grade 5 frameshift drive. She also does grade 3 thrusters, so the thrusters are slightly better. She also does shield boosters, frameshift drive interdictors, and power plants. The power plant's only up to grade 1, and the rest of them are kind of neither here nor there. But the grade 3 thrusters and the grade 1 power plant are potentially very nice. Especially if you've modified up your frameshift drive. That wasn't the right one, was it? It's that one. There we go. especially if you've modified up your frameshift drive and increased your power draw. At the very least, you can use the grade 1 power plant to go and help compensate slightly for that. So that's what we're going to go and do. I mean, because we get a little bit more out of Felicity with just her, rather than the engineers that come after her. So anyway, let's go and have a little bit of a closer look at these two planets. Because these are kind of cool. These are tidally locked planets with atmosphere. So they're twin planets. One of them is more of like an eggshelly yellow, and the other is a lot darker. So it's like the yin and yang planets almost. But the question, my dear Wolfpack members, is whether or not these are going to be terraformable. Now, I seriously doubt that they are. I could be wrong, but I don't think so. No, and no. Okay. Good to know I'm right. Now, let's go and have a look at this one. And like I said, this is the one I've got my money on. I mean, potentially these ones down here may also be terraformable. And they're not that far away, so I think we will actually go and have a look at those as well. Because this is a nice little compact system. It's not that big. Now, it looks like that particular planet is on the opposing side of the star. So we're going to have to get out of the gravity well that we're in currently. Although technically we're not in the gravity well anymore, we just have to get further away so that our frameshift drive can actually start propelling us forward faster. We just need to start accelerating again, because we're not even up to one times the speed of light yet. Or we're not even up to the speed of light yet. So as soon as we hit 1C, that's when we hit the speed of light. We're currently at 0.7, 0.8, 9. There we go, we're past the speed of light. But we need to speed up. And yes, this is one of the things that people say, well, if this game's so scientifically accurate, how are you going faster than the speed of light? Because nothing but mass can do that. Yes, technically that's true. But apparently there are potentially ways around this. And what the frameshift drive apparently does is actually warp space-time around your ship or something. And apparently, theoretically, that's possible. Now, I haven't read too much into it, so... or hardly at all, so I don't really know if that is... how credible that is. But, oh well. I think we're quite a ways off from this kind of space travel, because this is set in the year 3302. So that is nearly 1,000 years in the future. Whoa. Slow down a little bit. We don't want to overshoot. So there we go. We're getting into a good range of speed. Now, let's go and see if this one is actually terraformable or not. Now, I'm really not expecting it to be. So let's have a look. N is my key that I... oh, wrong bloody one. Because N is my system, N is my galaxy map, and M is my system map. I keep forgetting which one's which sometimes. No, it's not terraformable, like I thought not. Now, there's this one. It's not too far away from where we are now, so good. We don't have to go and accelerate quite as much. But let's just get a little bit closer and go and scan, well, a little bit more closer, and scan this one. Right, let's see if we can get this one. Let's see if we can actually get it without overshooting. Yes, we can. We just about managed it. So, I am kind of hoping that this one is, in fact, terraformable. So, let's go and see. Because this one's apparently 8 light minutes away from the star. And it is, in fact, terraformable. So, it goes nice to know that a little bit of math can actually go and help you work this kind of stuff out. Now, what's this one? This is going to be an M-class star? So let's go and have a look there, because I suspect that we may be able to start scanning it from where we currently are. Yes, we can. So it's not that small of a star. But it's nice to know that I was right about that previous planet and that it was in fact terraformable. That's kind of nice. But let's get over here and go and see whether or not everything here is in fact terraformable. Now, what I need to do is I need to spend a bit more time actually playing on this account in between recording sessions as well. The problem is I'm spending a lot of time on the main account at the moment just trying to modify up my Anaconda. Because currently I've got it fairly heavily modified. I mean, it's modified fairly a lot. There's very little on it that is no longer modified. I mean, some of it's only grade 1, like the shield boosters, which I want to upgrade to grade 5. I mean, there's very little on it that's actually left unmodified. I mean, the shield boosters are still grade 1, but I'm hoping to upgrade them to grade 4 or 5 fairly soon. I just need to find the materials for it. I believe the main thing I need to get is Imperial shielding, I think it is. Because that's the biggest issue that we have currently. Right, okay, so I wonder which one's going to be closest to us. Right, let's go and target that one. So we'll try that one first, because we stand a good chance of it being much closer to us. Let's actually go and get a little bit more of a bird's eye view, so to speak. Yeah, that does look like it's going to be the closer of all of them, because as you can see, the other two are closer. And this appears to be on the nearer side of its orbital trajectory. So yeah, that's kind of good. It's always nice when you're exploring to go, or when you're out specifically doing this kind of stuff, to go and try and get a bit more of a higher view. And in fact, that actually might be further away, I'm not sure. So let's see. No, it's closer, I think. And we don't have... It does appear to be the closest of everything there. So yes, it is the closest. Sometimes the perspective lines are a little bit difficult to discern. Just because we're looking at this in a 2D plane, at least those of us that are not playing in VR. I mean, I want to try this in VR. I mean, I've tried Elite very, very briefly in VR, but that was only back in about a year or so ago at EGX when I tried it with the... Oh, what was it called? I can't remember now. But it was one of the headset, the VR headsets. It wasn't... Oh, I just don't remember. I'll have to Google it and find out. No, that was it. Yes, it was the HTC Vive. It's been a while since I've thought about it, so I just could not remember the names. And now, so it wasn't the Oculus Rift. I've not actually tried that one. I've only had a very limited go. But I'm really curious to try I think it's the Samsung Gear VR. I think that's the one where you have to put your phone in order for it to turn it into a VR headset. Because I've subsequently gone and upgraded my phone. I've now got a Samsung Galaxy S7. So that should be compatible in order to do that. Now, let's have a look. Any of these, in fact, terraformable? Nope. That we haven't scanned. And that one is terraformable. So that's 2 terraformable planets in the system. So that's awesome. Now let's just go and scan this last one here. Now where's that one? It's not that far away. And actually, let's have a quick brief look down here. Well, there we go. We've got that one, the main parent body, and its moon. Now the moon is actually kind of cool. It's not that much smaller. And it orbits fairly closely. So those tidal forces must be interesting to kind of experience if you're down on the planet. I wonder what it'd be like if the moon was actually travelling overhead. How much if you would feel any lighter or so. It'd be rather interesting to experience. But this episode is starting to get a little bit longer. I mean, I'm not quite sure how long it's going to end up being, but I've currently been recording for about 45 minutes. And I don't like my episodes to last too much longer than 30 if I can help it. So what we'll do is we'll scan this one, work out whether this one's terraformable or not, and then I think we'll call it there. So let's see. But we've found a couple of about 2, 3, maybe 4 terraformables. I think it's about 3. No, we're not going to go and overshoot. We're going to be fine. So let's go and see. Is this one in fact terraformable? Here we go. So it's that one. No, it isn't. But oh well, it's not too bad. I'm actually quite pleased with what we ended up having. But anyway, guys, I do hope you've enjoyed this video. Now, as always, like it if you've liked it, dislike it if you didn't. Neither of those good enough for you, that's what the comments are for. And don't forget, if you do so desire, you can go and support me on Patreon. The link should be appearing at the top right. But anyway, guys, I've been Commander Chaos Wolf. You guys have been epic. I will see you soon. And until next time, Commanders, keep flying and stay shiny.